Ever wondered how criminal empires amass billions under the radar, shaping the global underworld? Today, we're diving deep into the clandestine operations of Earth's 10 richest criminal organizations, from the audacious Mexican cartels to the enigmatic Italian Camorra. Stay tuned until the end for a surprising revelation that will leave you questioning the very foundations of organized crime and its impact on our world. Number 10. Los Zetas Cartel. Initiating our exploration at number 10 is the formidable Los Zetas Cartel, headquartered in Mexico. These individuals epitomized ruthlessness, leaving a grim legacy of thousands of deaths during their ascension to power in the 2000s. Their founding leader, Miguel Trevino Morales, earned the moniker the most sadistic drug capo in Mexico, due to his penchant for brutal killings. The Zetas embroiled themselves in a bloody turf war against Mexico's largest cartels, including the Gulf, Sinaloa, and Knights Templar. Setting them apart, the Zetas maintained a low profile to evade authorities. Yet their legacy is one of unrelenting violence that paved the way for their billion-dollar enterprise. Number 9. The Tijuana Cartel. At the 9th spot, we encounter the Tijuana Cartel, a dominant force in the drug trade throughout the 1990s and 2000s. Operating from the border city of Tijuana, this group orchestrated the movement of substantial narcotics across the California border into the United States. The Tijuana Cartel held an untouchable status for decades under the leadership of the Arellano Felix brothers. However, following their arrests, leadership transitioned to a brutal enforcer infamous for his sadistic torture tactics and a staggering tally of over 1,000 murders. Known for their extreme violence, the cartel even targeted a Catholic cardinal who dared to speak against them. Through bribery and the elimination of threats, they maintained an iron-fisted control over Baja California. Number 8. The Gulf Cartel. Advancing further north into Texas, we arrive at the stronghold of Mexico's Gulf Cartel, at number 8. The Gulf Cartel, with its origins dating back to the 1970s, controls critical smuggling routes responsible for channeling millions of pounds of narcotics into the U.S. While their trafficking operations are significant, the Gulf Cartel is notorious for its shocking acts of violence and targeted assassinations. Armed with military-grade weaponry and formidable convoys, they instilled fear across Mexico and beyond. Loyalties were enforced with lethal finality as the Gulf Cartel swiftly eliminated any perceived threats, be they police, judges, or bystanders. The kingpin at the helm managed the Gulf Cartel with the precision of a true Mafia don. Number 7. The Knights Templar Cartel. Moving forward to number 7, we encounter a relatively new contender in Mexico's criminal landscape, the Knights Templar Cartel. Emerging from the splintering of La Familia Michoacana, this cartel swiftly burgeoned into a billion-dollar criminal empire. The architect of this ascent was former La Familia boss Servando Gomez, better known as La Tuta. Evading capture for years, he achieved this through strategic bribery of officials and dwelling in secluded rural compounds. The Knights Templar Cartel elevated brutality to gruesome heights, employing tactics such as torture and dismemberment. At one point, they laid siege to entire towns, leaving destruction in their wake. Their substantial assets, valued in the millions, have been seized over the years. Number 6. The Medellin Cartel. Now, at the 6th position, we delve into the notorious realm of Pablo Escobar's legendary Medellin Cartel, which held dominion over the cocaine trade throughout the 1980s and 90s. It's whispered that at the height of his power, Escobar single-handedly raked in a staggering $420 million every week, solidifying his status as the wealthiest criminal in history. Under his reign, Colombia was ensnared in a web of violence, a sinister means to maintain control over officials and quell adversaries. At its zenith, an astounding 80% of the world's cocaine flowed through the Medellin Cartel's channels. Escobar, living like a sovereign in his custom-built prison, met his demise in 1993, yet his empire left an indelible legacy that continues to reverberate. Number 5. Chinese Triads. The Chinese Triads, positioned at number 5 on our roster, present a sprawling and intricate network that stretches across urban centers and far beyond China's borders. What sets this syndicate apart is its remarkable diversity, comprising numerous factions engaged in an extensive range of illicit activities. These endeavors encompass everything from drug trafficking and illicit gambling to prostitution, extortion, and even more covert operations such as human smuggling and counterfeiting. What truly underscores the Triads' resilience is their decentralized structure. Each faction operates with a high degree of autonomy in their respective regions, ensuring that the syndicate can continue its operations even if one faction faces compromise. Entry into the ranks of the Triads is no casual affair, as aspiring members must undergo the initiation ritual involving a solemn commitment through 36 clandestine oaths. Advancement within the organization is strictly based on merit, showcasing a dynamic internal hierarchy. At the 4, we encounter the ruthless Russian mobs, better known as the Red Mafia or Bratva. With an estimated 7,000 gangs and over 200,000 members dispersed globally, the reach of the Russian Mafia extends far beyond their homeland. The Bratva operates with a highly structured hierarchy, spanning from associates to captains and godfathers. Their activities span a broad spectrum of lucrative illicit enterprises, from human trafficking and arms dealing to money laundering and contract killings. Bolstered by connections within elite spheres of business and government, the Russian Mafia often operates brazenly, impervious to legal repercussions. Their brutal reputation leaves a trail of casualties wherever their influence takes root. Crossing paths with this syndicate is an endeavor to be fervently avoided. 3. Japan's infamous Yakuza organized crime syndicates. Originating in Japan, these syndicates have ventured beyond borders, boasting an estimated 100,000 members. Recognizable by their intricate tattoos and the symbolic act of finger amputation, the Yakuza have woven themselves into criminal enterprises for centuries. Diverging from their counterparts, they operate openly, harboring no fear of authority. Priding themselves as humanitarian groups rather than antisocial organizations, they offer disaster relief services and maintain order within the populace. Yet, concealed behind closed doors, they amass wealth through drug smuggling, human trafficking, gambling, prostitution, and racketeering. With established public offices across Japan, the Yakuza navigate their activities with near impunity. Their code of honor furnishes a framework accompanied by ruthless retribution for those who dare to defy it. It's abundantly clear that these figures are not to be trifled with. At thus 2 is Mexico's largest and most dominant drug trafficking entity, El Chapo's Sinaloa Cartel. At its zenith, this cartel's operations extended across more than 50 countries, generating an annual revenue stream of a staggering $3 billion, derived from the distribution of cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, MDMA, and a slew of other illicit substances. Through a combination of strategic bribes and acts of violence, they navigated the drug trade with unparalleled expertise. The Sinaloa cartel's ingenuity in smuggling was truly remarkable, employing tactics ranging from secret tunnels to dummy corporations, and even employing unconventional methods like hiding narcotics within coconut water cans and fire extinguishers. The audacity extended to the use of catapults to fling contraband over the border. Such determination underscored their tenacity. At the helm of this criminal empire stood Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, a man who transcended his humble beginnings as a lowly orange seller to become a billionaire drug lord of global renown. His narrative was one of audacious escapes, having eluded prison custody not once but twice, before finally being sentenced to life behind bars. Eclipsing all contenders, we arrive at the apex of our list with none other than Italy's Camorra, a shadowy syndicate with roots that stretch back to the 18th century. Comprising over 100 clans and boasting a staggering 7,000 members entrenched in the European underworld, the Camorra has woven its influence deep into Italy's economic fabric. Investments in construction, tourism, waste management, braid distribution, and more serve as a shroud for their illegal activities. From Naples to Rome, the Camorra prospers exponentially through drug trafficking, extortion, money laundering, fraud, and the sale of arms. Expanding their empire globally, they engage in collaborations with other mafias across the Americas. The bosses of this syndicate luxuriate in opulent villas, surrounded by every conceivable luxury, while officials and police maintain a wary silence, steeped in fear of brutal retaliation. It is clear that the Camorra is astute in the art of thriving within the world of crime. And there you have it, dear audience, our exclusive journey into the echelons of the planet's wealthiest criminal empires. We've unraveled the intricate web of illicit fortunes, from the Mexican cartels to the formidable Italian Camorra. As we part ways, I must say, the path to prosperity is best paved through legal means. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let me know which crime lord left you most astounded. Be back soon, or maybe we won't.